everybody, welcome back to the best coin news channel on YouTube. I'm sonofasilverstacker. Today's date is June 7, 2024. That means it's National Donut Day. You might want to check that out if you love donuts. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about the silver supply shortage or the silver deficit, whatever you like to call it. I got the receipts. You won't believe what I've come across here this morning. Now, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to a bazillion subs, and we're always live and never edited. Check that out. Now, over here to moneymetals.com, gold's down 35.70 to 23.50.90. Silver down 77 cents to 30.74. Platinum down 15.10 to 1,290, and palladium down 13.60 to 952.85. Next stop, United States Mint bullion sales. Over here, no new tale to tell for the June numbers. All right, so next stop is the Google machine, and I looked up silver supply shortage, and this is just recently, 2 months ago, as of April 2024, the silver market is experiencing a structural deficit, whatever that means, right? Shortage, deficit, whatever you want to call it. Either way, the point is there's not enough silver on the open market. With demand from investors and industry outpacing production from miners and recyclers, the Silver Institute estimates that the global silver deficit will rise by 17% in 2024 to 215.3 million troy ounces, which would be the second highest deficit shortage on record. This is due to a 2% increase in demand globally, I would imagine, driven by strong industrial consumption and a 1% decrease in total supply. But it gets more intense from there, right? So this is semantic arguments. It means that someone is focusing more on the chosen words and their possible technical meanings than the substance of the argument. You see that a lot in politics, right? Now, here we are at the Google machine. Still, Indian solar panel manufacturers buying silver. Absolutely. But check this out. I came across these two articles, and they probably are important for what we're talking about today. This is from the Northern Miner. China's solar panel surge powers silver price. Isn't that interesting? Silver has broken through a mental price barrier to its highest level in more than a decade, driven in part by China's surging solar panel production. All right, over here at FX Street, a week ago, India silver imports have already topped 2023 total. Yeah. That's tremendous, folks, and there's a lot of folks in India that have been buying up silver. Check this out. India imported more silver through the first 4 months of 2024 than it did in the entirety of all last year. That is tremendous, folks. Wow. And I would imagine if everybody in India sold all their silver at once, it would tank the silver price immediately. That's how much silver is in India. Now, this is Numismatic News, and this is an article by Patrick Heller from 17 hours ago, and he asks, is a major physical silver supply squeeze developing? Absolutely, I would think. Now, there's a strong prospect that silver's price could rise much further in the coming months. And folks, I know a lot of you subscribe to that. I do as well. And what would that mean? What would our world look like if that was the case, right? So that's also something we need to think about when we think about these higher prices, okay? So at the COMEX market close on Wednesday, June 5, 2 days ago now, the spot price of silver was up almost 25% from where it settled at the end of last year. Now, in recent weeks, the prices have even been higher than that. Normally, when there has been such a relatively large move in a commodity's price, you will tend to see a retrenchment, like a little pullback, right? Often giving up half of its recent gains. That's a big half of the recent gains. Yeah, that seems reasonable, right? Then prices can stagnate at those levels. That hasn't happened yet this time around. In fact, there's a strong prospect that silver's price could rise much further in the coming months. All right, easy for me to say. Now, according to the Silver Institute's research, there was a combined shortfall from 2021 to 2023 of more than 663 million ounces of silver supplied to meet demand before factoring in inventory movements into and out of silver exchange traded funds. This shortfall amounts to almost 80% of annual global silver mining output. That is wow, that's a tremendous, remarkable number. Now, another shortfall is 215 million ounces is forecasted for 2024. Now, just on this basis, there is pressure for higher prices, right? That means in the capitalist society, supply and demand, right? So if the supply is not there and the demand is there, what's going to happen next, right? Yeah, it's easy peasy, pudding pie. Figure that out. Now, in recent months, Reliance Industries in India has had so much difficulty acquiring physical silver to use in the manufacturing of solar panels and other products that the company ended up purchasing COMEX silver future contracts. Wow, that's amazing. Now, upon maturity of those contracts, it has asked for physical delivery of at least 25 million ounces of silver. That just doesn't happen, folks, on any given day at all. The private sector's sectors, demand for physical gold in China has been so strong this year that demand for investment purposes in that nation rose 26.9% in the first quarter of 2024 compared to the first quarter of 2023. Gold imports into China have not been enough to cover demand, so Chinese buyers are purchasing gold contracts on the Shanghai Futures Exchange. Wow. Combined, the volume gold trading at the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Futures Exchange now exceeds the volume of the COMEX. Yeah, and obviously the power is shifting to the eastern side of the world, right? Clearly, that's amazing. That's remarkable. Now, try to mitigate the shortage of physical gold in that country. The government ordered the media there several weeks ago to urge the public to purchase physical silver instead of gold. Over the past 2 weeks, the price of silver in China has risen as high as $4 above the global spot price. That's called a premium, folks. And what premium are we paying, right? So the global spot price, if we want silver, you saw the money metals were about $8-9. Sometimes we're $15, right? So that's remarkable. And it depends what product you're purchasing, right? So if you're purchasing a PAMP, you're purchasing old rounds, vintage rounds, or you're purchasing new rounds, right? It just depends on what product you're buying. So those American Silver Eagles come with the highest premiums. And you got to ask yourself, why is it that the American Silver Eagle has the highest premium? Is it the best silver coin to invest in? I would think so. Now, between strong physical demand in India and China, there appears to be a good prospect of much higher silver prices soon. Absolutely. Well done, Mr. I would say Patrick Heller. That's amazing. Good job on this article. Now, here's the answer to the previous trivia question that we had asked last week. Who was the first U.S. president to appear on a U.S. coin during his lifetime? And I said Alvin and the Chipmunks was my rhyme, but there you go. That's Calvin Coolidge on that semi-quincentennial. That is amazing. And you know what's really cool about this particular strike? It's super light. There aren't many in really high grades, folks. And if you do get one in a mid-state 65, mid-state 66, you're probably sitting pretty. So yeah, those are pretty amazing little coins right there. And now let's go to a heads up on the Denver roll over here on eBay for the Jefferson nickel. You won't believe. So here we are at eBay, and I put 2024 Jefferson nickel roll, and I have it price highest shipping first. And there you go. There's a 3 roll of the Philadelphia. But look at this Denver, and it's the only Denver roll on all of eBay, and it is now up to $103.60 with $5.62 shipping. That is remarkable, folks. I can't even tell you. And I went to the bank yesterday to pick up some pennies, some nickels, or some dimes from 2024, and there were none. I got bupkis. I got rolled out of there with empty pockets. Man, that was tough. Now let's go to those plus ones. Boom, shakalaka. This is Proverb 10:8. The wise of heart will seize good deeds, but the foolish one's lips will become weary. Now I think what that means is a wise person intentionally pursues good deeds, but a fool, well, he simply talks and talks and talks without following through on any of his intentions. Now let's head over here to 395 99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. Life's Been Good by Joe Walsh. And you know what he says? I can't complain, but sometimes I still do. Life's been good. Now, folks, I want to thank y'all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you're hearing, see, sub the channel. It's free. Also, check out the membership. It's $1.99 a month. Stacker out.